at the time, I had started the college at Youngstown College before it became a university. I got married and had to drop out of school, and I got a job in the steel mill, Republic Steel. And while I was there, I saw the union was kind of fledgling, although they'd been around a while, but they was not really as organized as it should have been. It wasn't too many blacks involved, because I've always had leadership capabilities, so they encouraged me to run for union office. And I did, and I supported two brothers. It was the previous leader of the unions. They was not really very progressive, okay, good old boys club. So some of my good Italian friends and encouraged me to run for office, okay? And they became elected to the union. So meantime, I ran for department chairman in my department. Actually, before that, I was appointed by the union because the old man who was the chairman, he was kind of like one of my mentors in the steel mill at the time, and he had the top union people to appoint me to take his place at first, okay? So he came back to work about a year, and I ran, and he did not run, so he endorsed me, so I ran and got elected. But while I was there, I was working in started in the labor department.
This would have been roughly what year?
1955 when I started, okay? And I was there for about 6 to 8 months, and they must have saw something old me, so they moved me up to another position, okay? And within the steel mill, but I was over the coal plant, which is the worst place in the steel mill to work. I mean, it's hot and dirty, dusty. Seemed like they sent most of the educated, and the guys who couldn't read and write were pretty smart. I mean, but they worked long hours and made a lot of money, but it was, a lot of folks have died earlier from cancer and different, from inhaling and all those chemicals and so forth there. Matter of fact, I was there for 7 years. The last 3 years I worked in what they call the byproducts department, which is the chemical department. And so that was the clean part, okay? But and prior to that, during that time is when I got elected chairman of the union. So they had no blacks in the skilled trades, no electrician, no carpenters, no millwrights, nothing like that, okay? Not in the whole steel mill in Republic Steel in Warren, Ohio. So I said, I think I'd like to be an electrician. One of my best friends on the job at the time was a white boy. He had just moved from Bexley, West Virginia. He became my friend. So we talked about it. Matter of fact, he's one of my stewards. Okay, I had appointed him. So we both talked about we signed up for the same day to be electricians. Okay, about 2 months later, I didn't see him, I didn't know if he had quit and went to another job or whatever, but he came over to me, had his builders, all his tools, and I said, Jimmy, what you doing? He said, I'm moving in the gang. He said, what happened to you? I said, nothing happened to me, okay? So we got to talking, so I went to my general foreman, who was my neighbors, lived on the east side. His son, matter of fact, graduated from high school together. I won't call his name, but anyway, I went to him, I said, what happened? He said, well, I don't know, let me check it out. So he went and talked to the people at the company, and the head people in administration. He said, well, it's not time for us to hire no black folks in the skilled trade. He said, well, Baba, he said, you're the head of the union, go to your union people. That's what they do. I go to my union people, and they checked it out. In about 2 days, they came back and said, Brother Bob, they said they're not allowing no colors go into the skilled trades. I knew at that time my experiences and my involvement with the so-called unions, and especially corporate, the steel workers, was gone. So I decided I'd go back to school. And so I went back and started taking courses, preparing myself to leave the steel mill.